Well. Episode 49 of All Four Back. My goodness, it's gotten. We're almost at 50. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to All Four Back. I'm, of course, Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Hadlington 83. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, good evening to Shad. Good evening, sir.
Oi, fellas. How we doing?
And it's a good evening to our producer, Tank. Good evening, sir. If he's there.
He's run off.
He's run off again. Oh, brilliant. Oh, he's there. There he is. Good evening, Tank. So, episode 49. And, chaps, when you see this breakdown, you're going to see something very, very interesting on the bottom of the page. So, bringing up tonight's show, we have BGP and SCS Round 7 reviews. We have Shad's Rider of the Week. We have our second of our team reviews of the Piemen and the Wolves. We have the all-important World Championship qualifier draws taking place. And we also have a Season 20 announcement. So big talking points of Season 20. So we're going to get to that towards the end of the show with Tank can explain what's been going on. But before all of that, we're going to get into the first review of the night, which is the BGP final round at Victorville over in the States. And this track certainly gave a surprise. Well, I say surprise. It's had the same results, but Hads, you were in this meeting, my friend. A difficult night. Only 4 points scored on a track that produced some surprises. Dare I say it?
Was it a surprise though?
Well,
I'm not sure. Well, I think the surprise was, for me, was probably
You scored some
JC
points.
get into the behave. Come on now. The surprise was my second race when I got 2 points in a race with them people in it. But as for the others, they were a bit poor. But now the surprise for me after this season with the averages was JC getting into the final. But I think it took Stefan up until the semi-finals, and he was crowned champion. After his final void, where he actually faced Ryan, so fair play for Ryan for pushing it that far as well. To be honest, so bit of a screen issue there.
that was all right.
It was also nice to see Jan. He was a last-minute replacement back in the game. I know he's downloaded again recently, so good to see him back. Hopefully he sticks around for next season. But no, it was a tough one, to be honest. But as I mentioned to you guys earlier, the finalists, I actually beat 3 of the 4 finalists in my program rides, strangely enough. I don't know how, but yeah, I suppose that's something. I mean, that second place was decent. Probably the best ride I've had for a while. So yeah, disappointing, obviously, overall. But I qualified, so I was going to stick at it and keep going. But that race win was eluding me, unfortunately.
Just looking at the program, and the one person that definitely looked as if he was going to go through the card that night was Dret Lotka of Hackney. 4 straight wins, but then just faltered those last 2 rides of his. I think if he had a different gate position in that last race, I think it would have given him maybe first pick in that semi-final, but it just eluded him. But to finish third in the standings, and obviously getting through to the semi-final, just missing out. It's a shame that. But Dret Locker, flying high for the Norse this year, and yeah, great to see him performing on such a unique track as well. Victorville was a very unique track, very, very small. Took a lot of people by surprise, dare I say. But again, you're looking at your top 2 of Ryan and Steph getting through as top 2 in the world in the series. But also JC getting into the final as you said, there had 11 points from his qualifiers.
Yeah,
started with a race win as well.
I think it was his kind of track, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a so obviously the BGP season has now come to an end. Of course, we're going to look into the final table of the BGP. As you see there, 9-point gap between Steph and Ryan at the top there. Those two were the clear favourites in this season. Of course, both of them missed 1 round each. Had they both been at those 2 rounds where they missed, it might have been a bit more of a lot more closer, I feel, if they both had been throughout the entire season. But Hans, obviously, your thoughts on the season. I see you finished in 16th place, obviously, in 27 points. But yeah, your thoughts on the BGP as a whole.
Yeah, I think this is probably, I think it was my 3rd season in the GPs. I think this has probably been the toughest one so far for me. Every single race is just, you miss the gate. It's so difficult to catch up, and obviously the guys in front, very rare that they make mistakes. To be honest, so yeah, it's a tough one. But if I was happened to qualify, shall we say, for next season, I'll just give it another shot and whatever. But if not, we'll see what happens, and just keep. If I qualify for anything, I'll keep at it, kind of thing, and keep trying to improve. I think the top 8, as you see there, we forgot to mention Bobby actually picked Stephen 101 for the bronze medal as well. In getting to the final, he just nicked it by 2 points. So, well, fair play to Bobby for that one, because he also missed a meeting, whereas Stephen 101 rode in all of them. So, obviously, thoroughly deserved there from Bobby. It was unfortunate as well that Scotty couldn't ride, but he had his big birthday celebration. So, obviously, that's comes first. So, it's one of those. I think if you got to look at Drek Locker as well, he was only a replacement. He's only missed out on the top 8 by 3 points, and he missed 2 rounds. So, I think he's probably the one of, if not the biggest improver this season for me, especially at this level.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Adds on that statement there. A lot of big names in this BGP, of course. Obviously, we'll go on to next season 20, and see what happens with the BGP and the SCS as well. But yeah, great win. Well, I'd say great performance from all riders that took part this season. Obviously having them all chopping and changing and missing a few, then replacements coming in, and the ones that stayed throughout the whole rounds. You had you had 101. Powers was there the whole rounds. Squall. Hadlington, you raced all rounds, mate. Capesy rode all rounds. Tank, you raced all rounds as well. So only a handful of riders went through the entire round. So fair play to them. Hads, I believe you have the SCS to take us through.
We do, yeah. We'll move on to the SCS from Sunday. As you can see there, top of the score chart, Mackinnon won his 2nd consecutive round. Already had the title sealed, and it was a nice way for him to go out in the SCS. Also, you got Wolfie, who needed the 7 points to take the silver medal. He managed that by his 4th ride, and another good performance to get into the semi-finals. But I'm going to bring you in now, Dan, because you were actually in this meeting. It was your first meeting for since the Summer League, I believe, way back in season 14-15.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Race win as well. You must have been pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get the win. Coming in at the last minute, but I've been doing so much training on that track. I think I did like 3 lots of 20 with Wolfie and the crew. I wasn't there just to make up the numbers. I wanted to do well. Start out with a 2nd place, get that out of the way. It settled the nerves a little bit. And then sort of faltered after my 3rd ride, and I thought, oh, here we go. Just going to miss out just and all that. Then from that tricky gate 4, had that of getting that Heat 14 win, and really was really impressed with it. Stuck around and and then missed out in Heat 20 when I had to get beaten by Shads in the that last race for giving me a semi-final spot.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it was
Not
great going
sorry.
back. It was great being back. I know Wolfie was haggling me pretty much every week when I spoke to him, asking about if I would sign up, and he just sent me the link. And I thought, you know what, nothing to lose. So
More importantly, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I mean, I know a lot of the riders, not naming names, they practice a lot more than what I do. So they know more about it than what I would ever dream of doing. I've signed up for the World Championships next week, so I'll be in for that. Again, see how it pans out. And yeah, but I mean, I got to say thanks to all the guys that welcomed me back in, and I had a laugh, and I think one more point would have done it, and I would have got through that semi-finals. So, but yeah, congrats everybody.
Sounds like you got the bug back, Dan.
Dare I say it? I think I have actually, to tell you the truth. So I got to say congrats to Mäkinen, thoroughly deserved champion, and was flying throughout the whole meeting. Ben Thompson started well and then just faltered, unfortunately, because he was doing well as well. But yeah, it was great and felt good being back.
Yeah, fair play, mate. 7 points, definitely very creditable. Some very experienced riders in there, so hats off to you for that one. Shads, you were also in this, unfortunately.
Yes.
You started and finished with an exclusion.
Yeah, I managed to scrape into the semi-final. Got lucky in the semi-final because everyone graphed on the same bend, and I was one of the two that managed to get out the quickest.
What was the race time for that semi-final? Can we just have a look at that?
It was pretty slow. It was 31.368. We actually all grasped on the same bend on the same lap.
Wow!
But I think Mäkinen and myself got out the quickest, and it was just finishing the race basically to get to the final. Then I got the dreaded gate 1, got the last pick, and missed the gate, and then trying something silly, and then went into the grass. I think it was close to the end of the race, and I didn't bother finishing. I mean, if it had been a league race, I might have bothered, because then hopefully one person would have made a mistake. But in a final where it wasn't really worth it. I wasn't going to finish above 4th place, and I wasn't going to win it. So hey ho. I'm happy with my 3 wins in the heats, and apologise to Dan for knocking him out of the semi-final. But hey ho, There's no friends in individuals, I'm afraid.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So obviously with that, we also had Sky Rider, who was the wild card in this one. He got to the final, and a good performance there, finishing 3rd. And also Cam showed some form towards the end of the season. Again, 2nd place for him. I think he was 31 points. I think he scored over the last 2 rounds. So fair play to Cam. Also there you got Ben Thompson, who reeled off the 3 wins, and then he just went a little bit off with the 3 third places. But just of this series as a whole, obviously we had a lot of replacements, but the likes of Yolangos and Westy Boy, Alan McNally, they rode most of the rounds. Obviously, just for their availability, really. They were around, and they were fair play to them. And they've actually, Westy Boy, and I think it's still waiting for it to be confirmed, obviously, as well. With Lango, both replacements actually qualifying for next season. So fair play to them for that. As you say, as you mentioned, Dan, in their GPs, the riders who've done like all the rounds in this one, like Ben Thompson and Baz, obviously they, and Mackinnon, obviously more importantly at the top of the leaderboard. So yeah, Papa was saying there, Lango might get moved up, but I think he's because it's joint. I think he goes up anyway. I think is what happened before with the other series last season.
That with me and Bobby I think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, when you went into the GPs,
Yeah,
you both went up because you were joint on points.
That's
but
right.
Shad's 4th place overall, pretty solid. That obviously you missed that first round.
Yeah, I had a really weird series. I mean, double figures in 3, and then rubbish in the other 3, and then obviously I missed one because I was on holiday. I'm disappointed not to finish in the top 3, but I don't know. After my last experience in the GPs, very frustrated. It's nice to race against the top riders, I must admit. If I did get into it, I wouldn't be disappointed, but I'm happy with how I finished. I think I won a round as well, so which I've never done before.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great season for you to be involved with Shads, and obviously taking that win, which I believe it was in round 3. You took the win.
Yeah,
round 3. Took that win.
Peeler, was it? Peeler?
Yeah, Peeler.
That sounds familiar. Yeah,
it did. Yeah. But yeah, great. Hopefully these riders that are in this one will come back in some capacity. Of course, with season 20 being announced, information regarding it at the end of the show, we're going to sort of see if we can get as much information as we can from Mr. Tank. So moving on from that one, we have our final rider of the week of the season. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Shads.
Well, this is probably the toughest one I've had to decide this season. It wasn't easy. I mean, I was looking at Cam, like you said, Cam had a great end to the season. Sky Rider had a great meeting as well. But I'm going to go for the one who won the first Rider of the Week this season, and he wins the last Rider of the Week, I think, for his performance in the GP against the top riders. Railed off 4 race wins. Just came up short in the semi-final. I think I'm going to give it this week to Dret Lotka.
Dret Lotka of the Hackney North takes the final rider of the week here on All 4 Back. Congratulations to all the rider of the week winners this season. Of course, we'll have more of that obviously next season. So just a chance to get your statements in for next season. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our break because we have a lot of reviews to do and previews to do. So when we come back, we're going to look at the Newcastle Piemen and Birmingham Wolves review. And of course, those all important World Championship draws too. So sit tight, we're back in a couple of minutes. And welcome back to All Four Back, episode 49 with Chester, Shads, Hads, and Tank. So we're going to move on to our team reviews. Of course, this happened last season with when we first did All Four Back. We're now going to have our second two reviews. And we're going to start off with the Piemen of Newcastle. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Shads for the Newcastle Piemen season review.
Oh, blimey, where do I start with this mob? Losing your skipper halfway through the season can't be ideal. I've no idea what happened to Bewitcher this year. I mean, he was flying this season. It was over a 9-point average. But then I think he just disappeared. I don't know what. I've no idea what happened to him. Overall, I think Pies would be pretty disappointed with their season, finishing joint on points with the Panthers, which and we had a bad season. So you can imagine how they felt. I think they had a bit of a few issues with availability. School stepped in. I don't think Paris fancied skipper in. School stepped in to take over. They had some weird results. I mean, they beat the Cowboys and the Spartans at home, and then they go and lose to Wolves and the Warriors. I mean, how'd you work that one out? I mean, they had one away win only at Rye House. I mean, Rye House were the whipping boys at the start of the season, so that was no surprise. And they got a decent draw at Birmingham against the Wolves. But I think choosing Newcastle as a home track, thinking it was going to have some sort of home advantage, didn't really work out. 3 wins, 3 defeats. They're not great. I mean, looking at the averages, I think only 3 riders up their averages. I think Westy Boy, he was on an assessed average at the start of the season. Put about a quarter of a point on his. Alan had a better season, a couple of race wins this season, 1.49 on his average, and Bewitcher, he only rode half a season. Everyone else got the averages, and the big surprise to me was School dropping 1 point, over a point off his average. I mean, School's been riding pretty well this year, so I was surprised. Maybe his average was a bit inflated last season. But a totally different track from last season when they were at Berwick. But it didn't really seem to help them much. Newcastle. Yeah, disappointing for them. Whether they're back next season, I don't know. I don't really know if they're coming back next season. I think if the Witcher's not there, if someone else takes over this captaincy, I think they'll probably want to change the name. Maybe we might see Dragons back. I don't know.
Or maybe a new name in total.
Could be. But I think that's
We'll soon
we
find
just see
out.
the end of the prize, especially if Peterborough V2 is not about. It doesn't seem right having Piemen not at that track. Just seems a bit weird. But no, not great. No, not a great season. One to forget for them, I think.
Yeah. And of course, looking at their results that they had, I know there was 2 results in particular you wanted to look at, which I think we have on the screen here. So the first one was the win against the Hyde Spartans by 46 points to 44.
Yeah, I mean that's Spartans league title hopes. I think surprised a lot of us that result. No, fair play to them. They rode well and even had scored a few points there, mate.
Where's that race win? Nowhere.
No race win, but you had a 5-1. You had a 5-1. Yeah, that was a surprise result. And the second result was looking at was another home meeting, and that was week 16, a home loss against Wolves, which surprised everyone. Wolves had a funny season as well. They were up and down. But I think that was a surprise to everyone. I don't think anyone would have given Wolves the hope of winning at Newcastle. But yeah, they won and they won well. And that's with Bewitcher in the side.
Dodgy guest.
Oh, was that? Who was that? Method. Yeah, Method. Yeah, that's weird. You know, gets a race win and then doesn't score for the other 4 races.
Crazy, eh? Crazy.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely a season to forget for the Piemen.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Piemen, whether they return, the name returns next season, we don't know.
Just to kind of start to Sizzler's question, we did ask numerous Piemen, but none of them wanted to come on.
Yeah.
So you're stuck
pretty much sums up the season.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah. Okay. So with that being said, we're now going to switch on to our second team review. And this one features Mr. Hadlington, who's going to take you through the Birmingham Wolves season review. So Hads, over to you.
Yeah, we have the Wolves who finished in 4th place at the home track of Birmingham. They actually got more points away from home. They got 11 points away from home and 5 points at home. Winning only once at home and getting a draw against the Piemen at the start of the season. But then got 2 4-point away wins and a 3-point away win. So yeah, it was obviously say it was definitely a mixed bag, but as you can see there on the averages, Sizzler and Ads dropping off. Ads quite significantly towards the end. Also JC, Owen dropping as well, and Wolfie was the one probably the most consistent rider, I think, apart from Sizzler at the top of the team. But I think it's pretty. They actually went in the middle of the season 4 matches unbeaten, where they picked up 14 of the 16 points over 4 matches, which was strange. A away win at the Panthers, followed by a Norse home win, and then a win at the Warriors and at the Piemen. So we're just going to have a look at their first win as the Wolves. There it was against the Plymouth Panthers. They were 2 brand new teams for this season, and our guest is Mr. Sizzler. If you're there, Mr. Sizz.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, good man, thank you.
Good man. This was your first win for the Wolves, bringing Wolves into SCS. Obviously, we all know what's happened with the Wolves in real life. So this must have been meant quite a lot to get that first win.
Yeah, it was good, yeah. I remember that one. Not many of them remember, but yeah, it was a good one, that was. Yeah, to win your first meeting. Yeah, it was pleasing. We don't win many things, do we, Wolves fans? We used to be.
As you say, you only dropped 1 point as well in this meeting, and you had, strangely enough, Wolfie was the one who didn't ride in this meeting. But you went with Ads and JC at number 3 and 4.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind that one going into this one?
That Owen's a weird one. When he was practicing earlier in the season, he was great, and in that pre-meeting in there, he was faster than me, and we thought we'd just try it and see what happened. He did work a little bit to some degree, and obviously put in Ads and JC together at 3 and 4. But yeah, it worked. We was going to keep doing it, but yeah, it's sort of long season.
Yeah, definitely a long season. But we'll have a look at another your first home win as well. I know this was the one you really wanted to win. Against the Norse, I think they were unbeaten at this point, maybe.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
To get that first home win and to do it by 10 points against Norse, who had been just smashing everybody before this. I mean, that must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, we put a lot of practice in. Well, first half of the season, we put a lot of practice in every meeting. This one, we put especially a lot in. Otti was brilliant this meeting. I thought he was unlucky with the points that he got. But I think this was the meeting where me and Wolfie were together. I think 3 times we got 3-5-1s. Apart from obviously 8-1, that was a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, we formed a bit of a formidable partnership in this meeting more than ever. Me and Wolfie got a few 5-1s and got us ahead in the meeting. But JC, until his last ride, he was unbeaten. So he just showed what up and down season he's had.
Yeah, obviously he had a bit of a mixed bag in the second half of the season. But if it was to, obviously, I'm probably already going to guess the answer to this. If you had one, would you say who was more consistent over the season? Who would you choose?
Obviously, it's got to be Wolfie. I spoke to Wolfie about this. Obviously, we all know what happened with me and Wolfie. Wolfie started the game the same year as me, and we were very similar averages off that first season. And I always says to him, if you stop worrying about everything else, and I think that's what I was trying to get at last year. And I spoke to him pre-season. I said, look, mate, I reckon you can get over a 7 average without fail, and I still think he can get higher than that because when he's switched on, he's really good. And yeah, this season he finally kicked for him. And he was doing a lot of practice, a lot of afternoons, messaging like anybody about. I'm flipping, I'm at work. Never mind flipping getting on STS. But yeah, he's been brilliant this season, Wolfie. It's not just that, mate, on the Facebook thing, is what he's been doing. I know that you guys are using him as well for his graphics. They're amazing, to be fair, what he can do.
Yeah,
It's a fair play to him.
yeah, definitely. Hats off to Wolfie for obviously all the graphics as well. My next question is going to be: will the Wolves be returning next season?
Yeah, of course they will, mate. What else am I going to do?
And more importantly, will the lads be signing up? Because obviously I know they missed a few meetings towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Different things than that.
I always says when I was going to be a captain, no matter what, I was going to try and get them pair because just for the first season of having Wolves and both of them racing in, I felt for Liam a little bit because in practice the lads will tell you he kept up with. I mean, Shads did a few practice sessions with us at the start of the season while he was checking to see which team he wanted to race for, and Shads look, if Liam was on the pace with every one of us round Birmingham, he was. I think what killed him was the gaps. Dare I say it? We know everyone knows I talk about it. The gaps killed him. Just killed all passion that he had for it and what have you. And obviously being the number 7, trying to get him into meetings and yeah, I think it killed it for him. Owen, start of the season, obviously had his GCSEs, finished them. He'll be signing up next year, Owen will. I don't think Liam will. I says to Liam to just basically wherever he, just come into practice servers and just enjoy it and then see what happens. You can always get guest bookings if you need to and what have you, and I'm sure a few teams, if they asked, he would do anyway. But yeah, I don't know now. Owen's got a bird now, so yeah, I don't see him very often. So I don't know, but hopefully so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's that is actually good
That's
to
good news.
see that obviously the season and the gaps haven't put you off for next season. But as you were saying about Liam, I remember near the start of the season we did a bit of a practice match. I think a few of us got a practice match on, and
Yeah.
I remember that meeting as well. And he absolutely was flying in that meeting. So it's just I'll probably say it's a bit like me. Practice almost like on what's going on. I can beat anybody. Come to the race, absolutely, yeah, one of them.
Yeah,
but
it is, but yeah, it's the thing. I mean, Liam's only 13, so he's got a lot of, and then the other dickhead who's standing behind me now being an idiot, pain in the arse. But yeah, Liam, mate. Yeah, I think he'll come back to the game.
Has Paris got a key to your house now?
You what, mate?
Has Paris got a key to your house now?
No, don't invite him round my house, mate. I don't even him. I
Oh,
don't want
okay.
no one to know if he come round here. Mate, he come round here, they'll think I'm a drug dealer or something.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Method. There he is.
Oh dear me. I was waiting for that, to be fair.
Mate, you don't need a key. You don't, mate.
Him into it.
Mate, you don't need keys for Paris mums. It's just an open door.
Wow.
Oh, dear me. Revolving door.
Oh, big door.
Oh dear me. Oh dear. No, obviously it's good to know that obviously you'll be back next season. Overall, finishing fourth. I think at the start of the season, I think you'd probably be hoping for a top 3 finish.
Yeah, and midway through the season, I think at one point we were third. I think at one point, or we were close to it, and one more
Yeah.
winning. I think it was against the Spartans. I think, and they gave us a bit of a battering. But yeah, I think the team that we had at the start of the season, it looked quite strong, and with Wolfie, obviously his ability to go up that much. I think if Owen had done the same, and Ads and JC had done what everyone knows they can do, yeah, I felt Hutty a little bit because I think three of the last 4 meetings, Hutty had to ride at number 2.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, that didn't help him. And I did apologise to him. He's like, oh, I ate number 2 again. And I was like, mate, I'm really sorry. I can't help it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I felt for him a little bit. And I don't think his average reflects that. Because obviously, straight away, he's racing against 2 number 1s in his first heat. And it's, yourself, it's a bit of a confidence knock if you don't get anything in your first heat. You feel the pressure straight away.
Tell me about it.
Totally agree.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I only wrote
He picked up a few guest bookings though, didn't he? Which is good.
He did, mate. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. That's one thing I will say. It petered off towards the end. The season did. And I'll be honest with you, the last 2 or 3 meetings, we probably don't do any practice, literally because my work's been so chaotic. And yeah, it petered off a little bit. But the chat that we had was brilliant. And the last 2 meetings, to be fair, we actually raced them meetings on a live chat. So literally, we were all taking the mick and trying to race against people, and you got ads shouting, "Get back!" every 2 minutes. It's hard to concentrate, but it did make it so enjoyable. It was such a laugh.
Fair play. I don't think I could. I don't think I could do that. To be fair,
I've done that with Susan Paris before, and it's so hard to concentrate when you've got people talking all the time. It's really weird.
You do it when we keep saying beep when you're at the start, either, does he?
It's just really weird. It's just really weird listening to people talking and trying to race.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good. It's a good laugh. It is a good laugh.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it in a proper meeting.
No, not mean towards the end of the season, nothing was going to happen. So, like, if it was the start of the season, we would have done it. But yeah, towards the end, it did make it more enjoyable, and it did. Like I think ads are down tools a little bit, but then he, in the meeting, he was having so much banter. He wasn't even talking about racing. We were just talking about general crap, basically. Yeah.
Damn. So obviously with that 4th place finish for the Wolves. Yes, as for your own average, we went down slightly. You're still in the 8s. Was you hoping to maintain that average for this season?
I was hoping for a 9 average, and he got towards the end of the season, and I thought I'd get out Bobby's card and just lower a little bit just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we did notice.
Yeah, you know me, mate. I'll just blatantly say it, and whereas everyone else will hide it, I just thought, sod it, I'll just keep out the number 1s for next season. Simple.
Fair play. I was going to actually ask about that meeting. It was against the Warriors, was it, at home?
Mate, that meeting was so bad. I'd even tried that meeting too. I don't even have no practice pre-meeting. I think no one did. I think Warriors didn't either. It looked like it was a Special Olympics meeting. And the one I actually crashed. I crashed in one race. I crashed in one race, got all the way around, and I thought, I'm last here. Then all of a sudden, JC's sitting on the start line. I crashed straight into him, and I'll get third. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Hey,
me.
Tank even says he trained for 2 hours that night. Craig Day. I was hoping Craig would turn up.
That was strange, yeah, because Craig didn't actually involved, did he, in that one?
No.
But no, as you say, it's good to see the Wolves. Obviously, your first season, finishing mid-table. It's good that you'll be back next season. As always, thank you for joining us, Mr. Sis.
No worries, mate. Should I
Cheers,
just say that
cheers.
to you boys as well? You
Thanks,
guys
Sis.
have done a brilliant job this season on a Friday night. I think there's a regular 5 or 6 who are in every week. It is a good laugh. You do some great work. Just keep doing it because it is fun and it has brought another dimension to the game. To be fair, guys. The only thing I'll say about next season, the only thing I could really ask you to do, which I think could help the pod massively,
Here we go.
Stop Chester bumming like Craig and Steph every 2 minutes, man. Do him off flipping Eddie
There you
every
go.
flipping week.
You knew
How
it
much
was,
is it, Dan?
Christ.
you knew it was coming, Dan. You knew it was
Right.
coming. He waited right for the end.
I even look. Even Steph's in. I think Steph's in chat tonight. I
He
think
is.
he must have sent him a love letter to say, "Be on tonight. I'm going to chat about him." Know what I mean?
Proper
Oh,
spot the
no.
word.
Oh,
You don't need to put bingo. I saw earlier that Tank put that bingo chart on for Chester. You don't even need to put on there about Craig or Steph because you know he's going to mention him every week without fail. Flipping hell. But yeah, no, boys,
oh,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant season, boys.
brilliant. Thanks, Sis.
No worries. Also, guys, have a good Christmas, everybody. Have a good Christmas, New Year, and we'll
Yeah,
see you
you too,
soon.
mate.
All right,
You too,
guys.
mate.
Good
See you
man.
at
See you later,
midnight
mate.
mass. See you at midnight masters.
Mate, I might do this year because I ain't got to build any crap or kids crap, have I? Simple.
No, see you then.
I'll be too pissed. You're all right.
We all will. We'll all be. That's
Oh,
Mate,
the
I can't see
idea.
the screen. I can't see the screen at the best of times. Never mind having a drink.
It's all good fun. It's all
Yeah.
good fun.
oh,
See you
brilliant.
later, gents. Have a good one.
Thanks, Sis.
Cheers, cheers.
Oh, what a boy. What a boy.
He had to get
he,
to the end, didn't he? He got you
no,
right at the end. He waited.
of course
He
he did.
waited.
I was waiting for it going. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, brilliant.
I'll be honest, Dan. You love the attention anyway. So
Wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, so we're now approaching the moment we've all been waiting for, which is the draws for the World Championship qualifiers taking place at Lonigo. There are the names on the sheets. I'm going to bring in Tank if I can for this. Tank, we've got 32. We didn't expect to get 32, but a couple of names in there that are quite new. Some regulars. Your thoughts on what was a difficult draw, getting all the riders involved? Yeah, it's just saying in chat another few big names. No Ryan. Limo's also missing as well.
Ian,
He is,
indeed.
right. Yep, Sid's got that one wrong, unfortunately, but there we go. So of course, when the riders signed up for this year's World Championship, they had a separate form to fill out as to what days they were available. From my calculation, everyone had their right days and they've gotten the right days. Is that correct? So, without any further ado, Tank, can we have the draws? So this is for the semi-final qualifier 1 on Sunday. And first out the box will be Hutty. So Hutty goes in at number 1. Some big names in this one too. So riding at number 2 will be Capesy. Of course, the top 8 from both semi-finals go through to the grand final at Vastavik, I believe on the 15th of December.
Yeah.
Going in at number 3 will be JC. So JC goes in at number 3.
What number do you reckon then, Dan?
I ain't got a clue, mate. I'll just stick me in anywhere. I don't care. Number 4 will be Stephen 101. So he goes in it. So a good opening race there. JC, Stephen, Capesy and Hutty. So on to number 5, and it will be Stefan goes in at number 5. So of course Stefan comes in as defending champion, I believe. So he goes into number 5 spot, joined in that second race by Hobnob, who goes in at number 6. Moving on to rider number 7. And that
Mr.
will
Powers.
Powis 84 goes in at number 7.
I can't make Sunday. Oh dear. This one's going to be Sizzler now, isn't it?
So number 8, who's that going to be? Number 8. It will be Badger making a return to STS Racing. I think he missed part of the season because of work commitments, but it's good to see Badger back for the World Championship semi-final on Sunday. Number 9, it will be Paul Tiger. Paul Tiger goes in at number 9 for the first semi-final. Of course, making a return to the game is Mr. Tiger. So at number 10, it will be another returnee. It will be Jan. So Jan goes in at number 10 in the first semi-final. Just confirmed the second semi-final will be Tuesday, Skyrider, from what we just confirmed. So number 11 will be Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson, the SCS referee hero of the game. So number 12, this will complete heat 3. And it's me! Number 12, Chester 430. Oh,
Hey.
big race. Paul Tiger, Jan, and Ben Thompson to start with. Okay. So, number 13 will be Sizzler.
This is going to be a tasty race.
Yeah. Well, in terms of Steven saying that comment there, the crowd goes mild. So, Sizzler is in as number 13. Number 14 will be David No Fear.
Another one coming back.
Yep. So that leaves number 15 between Cam and DL Shaw. So DL Shaw goes in at number 15, which leaves the only rider to score a 21-point maximum in STS. That will be Cam. So there is the first semi-final that will take place on Sunday at 8:30. So a very decent draw there. I'll see quite a few names synonymous with individual racing. As long as we have the spreadsheet put up on the screen.
I think we're doing the second draw first, aren't we? Are we?
I believe so. Yeah, we are doing a second draw. So the second draw coming up. So here we go. Tuesday the 10th at 8:30, and starting off will be 111. Alan McNally goes in at number 1. Going in at number 2 will be Shads. So Shads goes in at number 2. At number 3, it will be number 85, Lango, goes in at number 3. Sky's asked, which semi-final do you think is the hardest?
the first one.
The second one, definitely.
Going in at number 4 will be number 33, Le Sorcier. Le Sorcier goes in at number 4, so tasty heat 1 there between Shad's Lango and Le Sorcier.
And Super Alan. Super Alan.
Super Alan, yeah. Number 5 will be Rico. Of course, Cam and Rico racing on separate days, so they're not going to be sharing the same laptop. If they both qualify, it'll be a different story. Number 6 will be Wolfie. Wolfie goes in at number 6. Coming through into number 7 will be another new face to the game, Danny B1611. Number 222. I believe that's a relation to 101, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it his cousin?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's only
I think it's
13.
only,
He's
yeah,
only
13.
13, I think.
Yeah, it is, yes, says Tank. So Dret Lotka goes in at number 8.
Hey.
Number 9, and the crowd goes mild for Hadlington.
Yeah, have yourself. This is guaranteed to be Squall now.
Still some big names in this. Oh, our 4th media team member. Sorry, 5th media team member.
I never had no box for the prize, pal. They're still
I
locked
think
up.
he meant Squall.
Yeah. Skyrider goes in at number 11.
Oh, he meant it.
So heat 3 will be Hads, Tank, Sky, and who else? The self-professed everyone's favourite Geordie will be Heppel.
I guarantee you there'll be at least one no rider in this meeting.
3 media team and a shouty man, says Sky. So number 13 will be Squall. Yep, you go, Hads, mate. You go. And 14 will be Racer Ryan. Which means 15 to be Big Slow Caney. Which leaves Wayne the final slot. Malta's number 1, if I'm right in saying, from back in the day.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. So that is the draw for the World Championship qualifiers, taking place Sunday and Tuesday. So we're going to look back at the first semi-final. And Shads, I'm going to bring you in if I can, mate. Your thoughts on this one, mate?
The first one, yeah. Yeah, I missed this one. You've got some big hitters in here. I mean, just looking down in Chester 430. I mean, whoa.
Yeah, I haven't got the
practicing with Wolfie.
Yeah, I haven't got the most easiest of draws, have I?
There's gonna be room for some of the unfancied riders to get through, because there's always one big name doesn't get through for some reason or another. I think it happened with Lima once in a qualifier for the STF qualifier or something. I mean, he would have been a shoo-in on a 9-point average at the time, and he didn't make the qualification. So there's always going to be someone. I mean, you're looking down the list. I mean, Stephen's not had. He's been off and on some meetings. I think he might be one of the ones that doesn't make it. JC's had a good end to the season, so he'd be looking to get in. I don't know. It's going to be you're looking at the usual suspects: DL Shaw, Harris, Stefan, JC. I mean, you've got someone like yourself. 8 points possibly get you through. I mean, you've got some riders coming back here, like Paul Tiger, not raced for a while.
Jan as well.
Yeah, Jan. Yeah, but Jan's class. I mean, if he practices, he should be okay. I mean, he wouldn't enter this. He wouldn't enter this if he wasn't going to be taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Why would he bother? Unless he's sort of like using it as a tester for possibly referring next season. But the likes of Ben Thompson, I've seen him have some cracking meetings. I mean, what did he finish? Fifth in the SCS standing. So he might be quite hopeful getting through.
Yeah. And am I correct in saying, Tank, that it's a 20 heat format straight through, no semis and final?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sky saying
there's no count back. No.
Sky saying easy win for you in Heat 10, Dan. Stefan, DL Shaw and Capesy. God help me.
Get practice in, mate.
Yeah, I'll get as much as I can in before Sunday. Chester Capesy 5-1. If I use that 1000cc bike I used in that practice server, then I'll be all right. But I'll see how it goes.
I'm going for Ben Thompson to get into the top 8. That's my shout.
Yeah, for me personally, if I say so, I'm going to say my top 8's going to be Cam, DL, Sis, Powis, Steph, 101, JC, and Sizzler. That's my top 8. That'll be my top 8, I think. I mean that first one looks a lot more tougher to get through than the second semi-final, because all like the ones that are underneath that top sort of I named Sis twice. God damn it! Dear me. Well, it's so good. I named you twice there, Sis. How about that? So with that being said, we're going to move on to the second semi-final now, and this one is we say one of the the easier of the two semi-finals. Tank, you're in this one as well as yourself there, Shads. I'm going to bring you in first if I can, Shads. Your thoughts going into this semi-final on Tuesday?
Well, I see a few names here that are definite. I mean, Ryan, Brett Locker, Wolfie's been going this season. Rico, with his experience, I think he'll get through. And even a separate meeting from Cam, so he hasn't got to share a laptop. So I think Rico will be fine with his experience. Lango, I suspect will get in. Skyrider, he's had some great meetings in individuals. He had a great meeting last Sunday in the FCS, and that was with a lot tougher lineup than this. I feel a bit for Danny. I don't think this will be his first official meeting, the first meeting anywhere. I think he's going to struggle a little bit. Wayne hasn't raced for a while, so he'll have to get a bit of practice in. I think Hads will get through. I think Hads needs a good meeting after his GP experience. But poor blimey, you could name any 4 or 5 to get into the final positions.
Mm.
Hopefully, I'm one of them.
Well, I'd say a nice. Well, heat
Be
six.
nice to face you in the final, Dan. Anyway,
Well, I hope that all 4 or 5 media team riders get through in the final. So that's obviously Hads, you, Tank, Sky, me. You know, that's
Ben.
the 5. Is there one more in there?
Ben,
Wolfie, yeah,
Wolfie.
Wolfie as well. Yeah, Wolfie.
JC,
That's quite a few.
half
Alan.
the lineup seems to be a media team.
Yeah. We shall go in for season 20.
It's going to be interesting.
The media team.
And a good thing about it is, in the second meeting, you get a chance to see the recordings from the first one. You
Yeah.
get to see the lines where the top guys are riding. So I think it's a definite advantage for the ones that bother to look at the recordings to see how it goes. I mean, we've had a few laps, but it's always good to see how the top riders race it. Unfortunately, I've only had laps in servers with about 8 or 9 riders, so you don't really get to find the line properly. But no, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be looking at those recordings.
Yeah. So that was the draws for the World Championship qualifiers taking place at Lornego on Sunday and Tuesday. But now we're going to switch gears and we're going to bring in Tank once again for a season 20 announcement. So, Tank, what you got for us?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sounds like
Exciting.
sounds very detailed there as well. Yeah. So you heard it here first, folks. Season 20 sign-ups will begin just before the World Championship qualifier, in fact, on that Sunday, and then closes at 23:59 on the December 29th. So yeah, and I'm sure when we go into next week's show, if people do sign up before then, we can then announce some of the riders that have been involved in signing up on next week's podcast. So yeah, it's all exciting times coming up. So with all that being said, I think with nothing else really to discuss, we can wrap up tonight's show. Now I know I said about next week, possibly could be happening, because obviously next week is the 13th, and plus that will be also our 50th show, but it's also my birthday, and I could be out and about in the evening. So we will keep in contact during the week and see what happens. But until then, obviously Hadlington's had to disappear. So I will say a good night to Shads.
Good night, all.
A good night to Tank.
Caught me mid-yawn there.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. We will see you back here hopefully next week. But until then, enjoy your ride in, and we will see you all on track. Take it easy. Good night.